Good evening, everyone. I had to do a little bit of just a little bit of a show. It's not a real show. It's a pseudo show. It's really just a video, actually. And tonight, I'm not going to have any callers because I wasn't going to record this as an actual show, as I mentioned. So can't call in, but you can type in what you have to say or would like to say. As we do this impromptu little video tonight on the two topics that I have posted. So thanks for checking in around the ATL. I don't even know what kind of version to call this. That's why I'm kind of stumbling right now. I don't know what to call it because usually right now I'd be calling out the number and everything. But this is just a video to discuss two topics where I just I hadn't had a lot of time to get on the air lately. Been working a lot of stuff has been going on, still working on another project that hopefully is going to happen by the end of this month. I don't know anymore, but we'll find out. But I've just been really busy. And myself and my co-host Jordan Jackson, we were kind of trying to wait to see how free agency was going to end out. Were we going to have a huge anything else going to happen, and it just doesn't look like it's going to transpire. So for sure, within the next week or so, we're going to do our show where we're going to talk about the draft and we'll talk about free agency. But tonight, I just want to talk about a couple of subjects. So around the ATL tonight, not a full show. Really, it's not a show. It's really just a video. It really is. Plus, I'm not feeling that well. So that's the other reason. This actually is going to be kind of brief. Shout out to the Originative brand. As you see that scroll across the screen, make sure you get your Hawks gear, Falcons gear, Braves gear. Everything's custom made. Make sure you go to the Originative brand on Instagram. Let them know that Around the ATL sent you. Around the ATL, the new logo was also designed by the Originative brand, as well as the original. Let's see if I can show you all the original. But there's the original. And here is the new one. There you go. A couple of different versions. So make sure you hit up the Originative brand as far as logo design, branding of any kind, things of that nature. The Originative brand, he's been around for a long time now. Again, he's actually worked on a couple of logos for me. He's designed shirts that I've purchased from him as well. Next show I'll have that shirt on. But check it out, Originative brand on Instagram. That being said, see, I can't put the number up because I'm not doing an actual show. So let's see, what will I put up? There we go. We'll put that up. Make sure you follow on Twitter, Intellect ATL or IMT Radio on Twitter. Also, my co-host Jordan Jackson at Jordan23ATL. Make sure you do that. And I'll go ahead and put the comment section up. So let's talk about my two subjects for tonight. Now, I'm going to start with John Collins because that is definitely a top topic. I think everybody would agree. And my main question is, why the hatred? Now, again, I'm speaking from a perspective, not just of some bias because he's been on my radio show on Around the ATL, and his mother has been on the radio show. And I've written some great articles about him and things of that nature. I'm just speaking on the basis of he's an Atlanta Hawk that wants to be an Atlanta Hawk. Okay? Why would you hate someone like that? who actually is putting up numbers. He is not averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds a game. That I could understand. I could understand that because that's not helping. That's not going to help our team winning at the position that he plays. And excuse me. And starting. I told you I wasn't feeling well. Hopefully I can make it through. And starting. If he was giving us some Sheldon Williams numbers, I could understand the hatred. In 2 years with the Hawks, Sheldon didn't do anything coming out of Duke being one of the high-end Duke players. All the accolades he was having out of Duke. I could understand that. I could understand it. I could understand if John was always making the franchise and the city look horrible bad. And I mean horrible bad. I could understand the hatred at that point. I could understand it at that point. I could. But that's not reality. And I don't know why people are making up realities that are false. I don't understand it. That's what gets my goat. That's what gets under my skin, is that you're creating narratives that are just so false. It makes no sense. And then when egg is on your face, you don't want to recant any of it. And that's what makes it so messed up. So messed up. So I'm gonna do this real quick, okay? Okay. 10.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, 1.1 block a game. That was John Collins' rookie season. So if you like the whole rounding up, it's 11 points a game and 7 rebounds a game his rookie season. He did play in 74 games. He started 26. Why didn't he start all of them? I don't know. Ask Bud. Played about 24 minutes a game. Gave you 11 and 7 right off the bat. Second year, 19.5 points a game, 9.8 rebounds a game. Went down on blocks actually to 0.6 blocks a game that year. That was his sophomore season. Okay. 30 minutes a game. Still not really playing that many minutes a night. The next season, 21.6 a game, 10.1 rebounds a game, 1.6 blocks a game, so almost 2 blocks a game. You still was hating him? Well, how? 22 years old? Shooting 40% from 3? Stretch 4? How are you hating him at this point? 64% from two-point range? How are you hating John Collins at this point? The next year after that, which was the Eastern Conference Finals year, 17.6 points, 7.4 boards, still a block a game. He's giving you, his career is a block and a half a game, y'all. So far. Oh, my bad. That's turnovers. That's not a lot of turnovers, by the way. Here's 1 block a game. He's getting 1 block a game. He's getting you that block. He's getting you a block a game. Why are you hating him? Shot 39% from 3. How are you hating him? And then this past year, of course, missed a lot of games, played only in 54 games total. He started 53 of them. 30 minutes a game again. Not playing a lot. Don't know why. I really don't. 16.2 points, 7.8 rebounds. So he's always been at least 7 rebounds a game or more. Still got you a block a game. Getting you some assists as well all these seasons. A couple of assists, you know. Always in his free throws. I'm just reading all this. I don't understand it. Shot a little bit less from 3 this year, 36%. A little bit down. Still 36%. There's a lot of people who wish they could shoot 36% from 3. On this team, he's still shooting higher than a lot of people on our team. But for some reason, these 5 seasons here, he's just now 24 years old. I don't get it. Why the hatred for John Collins? I'm not sure. Now, let's talk about the position. Okay. And again, usually this is where I'd be calling out the phone number. But again, this is just a video I'm recording for the sake of history to get it on the block. Okay. I don't understand how it's fathomable that you're going to, all the people who basically want to get rid of John, no matter what, like no holds barred. It didn't matter who we got in return, just as long as he's gone. Like his 16, 17 points a game didn't matter in our starting lineup, where in our starting lineup, there's only 2 people who were scoring over 15 points a game. Just 2. Just 2. One of them was Trey, and one of them was John. Everybody else is scoring 13 or less, and barely that most nights. So all of a sudden, his production, all of a sudden, you were going to replace that with less, and we were going to be better. Trying to figure that one out. But that's what y'all wanted. That's what y'all were going for. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. That's what y'all was saying. All of it online. It's all documented. Unless you deleted your post. Did you delete it yet? But here's the deal, and I've been saying this from the get-go. If you're going to trade John Collins, you have to get someone better. To get someone who's giving you the same production wouldn't make sense on the basis of why are you trading him then? If he's so terrible, if he's so bad for you, right? Why are you so involved in trying to get rid of a player that's doing what I just read off? You know how many other power forwards in the league don't come close to what John has done in his first 5 seasons? I have a whole article about all the power forwards in the league around the same time that he came into the league, and some before, a little bit after. Look at their first 3 or 4 seasons as compared to John, and they don't come close to what he's done. But for some reason, you're trying to assign value on those people. Why? Because they got a contract? John did a lot more than all those other players and had to fight for his money. Fight for it. Fight for it. Makes no sense. Siakam is one of them, but I'll get to that, another day. Or I might pull up the article. We'll see. I'll read it off if I got to. But here are your top 10 power forwards in the NBA, okay, as of the moment. Now, I really don't agree that Jason Tatum is a power forward, but they have him on the list, but I exclude him just for personal reasons, because I don't think he's a power forward. So if you're not going to trade John Collins for Giannis, what are we talking about? Right? Because we can't get him. Right? 30 points, 12 rebounds a game, does all the stuff that he does, right? But we're not getting him. If you're not going now, Kevin Durant up to a point is a possibility, I guess, still. Right? I guess. Right? He's a bona fide, 28, 30-point scorer a game. That's better than John. I can't argue that. Can't argue that one at all. He's Kevin Durant. 2-time world champion. If you get him. Anthony Davis, I think, is peanut brittle. I think it would be terrible at the end of the day because that's really a risk. Is he ever going to play more than 50 games in a season multiple times? He's 28 years old and almost over the hill. That's how it is right now. But numbers-wise, yeah, he has better numbers than John. And could he fit with a Trae Young offense? If we ever get an offense, maybe, I guess, but production-wise, for sure, you're getting at least 25 a night, 23, 25 a night, somewhere in there. He can average 10 boards a game, I guess, every night. Okay. Now, Zion, again, peanut brittle. You can't be effective if you're never on the court. And so far, he's shown he can't ever be on the court. But numbers-wise, Zion could maybe give you good 25 points a game as well. Gets the touches. Right? Someone got to get him the ball, though. Just saying. Again, I'm not counting Jason Tatum. Draymond Green is in that top 10 just because. Defensive Player of the Year. How he meshes with the team he's on. Doesn't give you any numbers, but he's a world champion 4 times over. He's not available, though. Okay? He definitely would not work in what we got going on here either. but he's in the top 10. He's listed. Sabonis, Sacramento Kings. Now, in his case, you know, he had a career high 20 points a game. That was his career. He definitely does some decent passing. Okay. He definitely gives you some rebounds, right? For sure. Right? So if you traded John for him, I could maybe, all right. Julius Randle, no. Let's go ahead and skip over him. Now, Mr. Siakam, who everybody's just, oh, well, he can get his own shot. Okay. He get his own shot. All right. AD don't get his own shot. He does pretty good. Right? Now, of course, KD does, but KD is basically a guard, right? And Giannis had to work up to get into that point, but he's pretty good now, too. So those are a few of the guys who, they supposedly get their own shot. Sabonis don't get his own shot. He never has, and he never will. Okay? Now, Julius, we could say that he does or whatnot, but hey, guess what? You can't count on him. He ain't the greatest player in the world. All right? He just isn't. Okay? You can't count on him. Siakam, though, if he was to get traded for a Siakam, I could, he gets you a good, And then number 10 is John. Now, I just gave you in his second season, his third season, getting you basically 20 points a game. 19-5, 21-6. Okay. So, again, what are you trying to get rid of there? The year he got 19 and 5, he was getting 13 touches a night. The year he got 21, he got 14.8 touches a night. You know how many touches he got last year? 11.9. That's a problem, y'all. That's an issue. It's not the touches, it's just the formulation of the essence of philosophy again that I've been mentioning for a long time now. We don't have a philosophy that actually caters to the success of the talent on this team. We're wasted talent last year. For the guys that were on the floor, the ones that weren't hurt couldn't do nothing about. But for the guys on the floor, we still had enough talent to not lose 39 games last year. And we didn't. Most of it was because of effort, but a lot of it was because we don't know what we're doing out there. And again, that's from the players themselves. Not sure what we're doing out here. I'm not sure about the plan. Weren't prepared for this, weren't prepared for that. All these guys are saying that at pressers, in live, in the moment. What, did you ignore all of those pressers? Really? That's your excuse? You can't plead ignorance when it's right there. All you gotta do is pull it up. All these players just saying again and again and again. Again and again and again. Again and again and again. We don't know what we're doing out there, basically. But a lot of it was just effort, energy. And they don't ever have an answer of why they can't get themselves up for games. And I'm like, well, where's the coach at? Coach don't know why they can't get up for games either, supposedly. That's a dereliction of duty right there. We've been talking about that for all the other teams he's been on up till now, right? 39 losses. How do you regress that much? Now, some of it we could attribute to one of the coaches that was here a year ago that wasn't here anymore. If that particular coach had still been here, would we have seen just that much lackluster play over time? I don't think so. I don't believe so at all. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about John Collins specifically right now. Why would you want to take out his production and not replace it with at least somebody in this top 10 list that I mentioned? Even at worst, if it was Julius Randle, I have to suck it up and be like, okay, well, he's here now. Hopefully he won't fail us, because I don't believe in Julius Randle. I just don't, right? Because here's your alternatives. After that, this is where you go. Tobias Harris, Latvian Dirk, Porzingis, Aaron Gordon. Y'all want Aaron Gordon and his non-production self coming in here? No. Jaren Jackson Jr. Now some people will argue on the athletic side, but I'm like, well, John is just as athletic, and he can actually hit all of his jumpers and his threes and his free throws too. So what are you talking about there? Jeremy Grant, again, why wasn't he doing that before he got to the Detroit Pistons as far as his numbers go? Just saying. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's in that group. Miles Bridges, you already know his story. Keldon Johnson, San Antonio Spurs. PJ Tucker, Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, you can make an argument with Evan Mobley, again, because of athleticism and things he can bring to the table and stuff like that. But guess what? Cavaliers wouldn't do that move either. Robert Covington. And see, here's the other thing, as I mentioned the rest of these guys who are listed as power forwards. Marcus Morris Sr., Jay Crowder, Hachimura, Patrick Williams, Marvin Bagley III, Jaden McDaniels, Daniel Theus, Darius Baisley, and whoever Chuma Okeke is. The other reason that people want to make such a grand stand on, he got to get his own shot, it's because you got small forwards playing the power forward position, which means they're not actually power forwards. And we could talk back and forth about hybrid, all this kind of crap and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you're mischaracterizing, in this particular case, that position per John. John don't have to go and tricky dribble it. He don't have to do that. He don't have to do that. Now, what makes that more poignant is the fact that you don't have nobody else on your starting lineup besides Trey that can do it. That's supposed to be the guards and the small forwards jobs. Also, this wouldn't even be a discussion if Kevin has scored more than 11 points a night and Hunter has scored more than 13. Hunter is still here, so hopefully he will start dropping 19 points a game every night like we know he can do. Just like hopefully Kevin over there in Sacktown will start scoring 19 points over there because we know he can do it. He just don't do it. He's one quarter, and the rest of it, he's gone. That's why he ain't here, besides the fact that his defense is much less than Hunter's. If Kevin had been scoring 15 a night and playing a halfway decent defense, he would still be here. I guarantee you that. It forced a move. Again, this whole season forced something that had to happen, right? And you had to let some people go. It had to happen. Didn't know how drastic it was going to be, but it had to happen. Now, hopefully, the change of players will initiate a change in the philosophy as well to cater better to the actual talent, because otherwise it still won't matter. It still won't matter, will it? Not really. Well, why do you hate John so much? That is the main thing. Why do you hate a player that has done what he's done in his first 5 seasons, as opposed to, let's see if I can, this might not be that hard to do. Let's see. First two seasons. DJ Wilson, 3.6 points and 2.5 boards a game. Actually, no, that's not what I want to read. Those were free agents. So I'm going to read this and let me see if I can find it. Okay, there you go. Siakam, his first year, 4 points, 3 rebounds a game. His second year, 7 points, 4.5 rebounds a game. Jonathan Isaac a few years ago, 4 years, $80 million contract. So his first 2 seasons, 5 points and 3.7 rebounds a game. Then his second season, 9 points, 5.5 rebounds a game. Right? Signed the bag. 14-7 his first 2 seasons, which ain't that bad relatively, except for the fact that he didn't play a lot of games. Right? Kelly Olynyk got a 4-year, $80 million contract, right? His first 2 seasons, 8 points, 5 rebounds a game. The second season, 10 points, 4.7 rebounds a game. He's never averaged more than 11 points in his career so far. So what proving ground are we talking about? And this was like a couple of years ago now, right? But all those guys deserve the money that they got. Even Bagley got 3 years, $50 million, even though he wasn't playing. Okay? Like, seriously. Aaron Gordon, you really want his 14-7? Do you really want that here? Larry Nance Jr. maybe 10.77 boards a game. I'm just reading people now. Let's see. Farouk Amino, 4.3, 4.8 points, rebounds a game. Like, seriously. You want Mason Plumlee back in here? Or let's see. We had the other Plumlee, didn't we? 7.5 boards a game. Juan Hernan Gomez, 6.4 boards a game. He was in the movie, though. Jamarcus Green, 6.8.6 boards a game. I mean, seriously. That article I wrote that, when did I write that? 2020 is when I wrote that particular article. So 2 years ago, those were some of your options there. And y'all wanted to get rid of John for these guys, even though John in his first 2 seasons, 11-7, and then went to 19-9. But y'all want to get rid of that and does everything else. He stretches the floor. He can hit a baseline jumper. He can hit a turnaround fadeaway jumper. He can and does drive to the basket. Y'all might not watch the games, but he does. And more important, on the pick and roll, he's one of the best finishers in the NBA. He can pick and pop as well. Nobody else on our team can do that. Clint can't pick and pop because he can't shoot a jumper. Makes him a liability on that end. And then he doesn't finish that well from 0 to 5 point. I'll go ahead and pull that up too then. Because again, for some reason, to try to make Clint a focal point of the offense when he doesn't shoot a jumper, that's y'all's thing. And then if he doesn't hit those bunnies that he be missing all the time, that's kind of an issue, isn't it? Isn't it? Or it's not? How frustrated do I see all these posts every time he misses more than one? Because it's more than one usually. I'm trying to find the article now. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm going to give you the numbers. The numbers, as Nick likes to say sometimes. So, 0 to 5 feet from the basket. Okay. 61%. That's 7.8 attempts a game. Okay. As a comparison, Big O shooting 86% from 0 to 5 feet out. And that's on a lot less shots. That's a 25 percentage point difference. That's a lot of layups right there, y'all. That's a lot of points. And why that matters is if we have a lead, that can kill momentum. If we don't have a lead, that's a couple of buckets. We lost a lot of games by 10 points or less last year. Remember, we scored 113 points a game and we gave up 112. That's a lot of slim margins there. Remember that Portland game that we lost? That was like 130 to 126 we lost. You see what I'm saying? It's those type of games. But if you take John's production out and don't replace it with at least more production, you see what I'm saying? You take his 16, 17 points, which should be more if he got more touches. He's getting 4 or 5 less touches now than he ever has before as a Hawk. Why is that when he's shooting, where is he at? Right here. Just this past year, and he didn't play the whole year, of course, but he was still shooting 58% from everything 2-point basket in. He was shooting 36% from 3. He's hitting 80% from the free throw line. You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem there? He's a career 37% three-point shooter, y'all. He hits that shot regularly. He's giving you, I don't know. I don't know how you're just going to just erase that and not expect to get equal in return or better. But if you're not going to get better, what are you doing? And you just signed him to a contract at that. So to do anything else is crazy. That's what it is. Crazy. So why do you hate John Collins? I would like to know. Let's go ahead and talk about my other subject. So now I just posted this, and actually I'm going to post the show later. Bob Rathbun, Trae Young's rookie season during Summer League. Trae's first stint in Summer League. Now let's give context. Trae had not picked up a basketball. He had not played any basketball for 30 days. From losing his last college game, getting eliminated, okay, from the tournament, to going through the draft and everything, getting drafted, getting traded, and all that kind of good stuff, to Summer League. He hadn't played, basically. He hadn't played any basketball, any competitive basketball. So when he went to Utah, yeah, he was looking terrible, wasn't he? And half of y'all were running him off the court, running him off the face of the earth, didn't want him. He's terrible. He's trash. Why did we trade Luka for this guy with the bad hair? All this kind of stuff. It was all public. So much so that I had Bob Rathbun come onto my show, right? Face of the Atlanta Hawks broadcast team, 20 plus years. And I asked him directly, Bob, are you surprised at the outcry of the angst towards Trae Young? And Bob said, yes, Chris, I am surprised. This is Summer League, though. These games mean nothing out of nothing. Keep your shirts on. Slow down. Stop panicking. What are you talking about? And then what happened? Vegas happened. And Trae Young was destroying everybody, right? And then the rest was history, of course. Do you know? Well, let me actually go ahead and finish putting it in context. We drafted two people last year, Jalen Johnson and Sharif Cooper, right? Now, think about if everything was perfect in the world, what we were going into the 2021 NBA season after being 2 games away from the NBA Finals, and we're bringing everybody back, right? If everybody was healthy and everybody was playing A games, no, Jalen Johnson and Sharif Cooper were not going to play. I said that from jump. I said that. Sporadic play at best is what they're going to see because we're loaded for bear. That's not what happened, though. First month of the season, we were down like 3 players right off the jump. 2 of them, I believe, starters off the top. I didn't have time to go back and check. But we were down 3 or 4 players right off the bat, beginning of the season. Right? Y'all remember that. You know, a month and a half later, it was COVID. Right? So just that right there, I said, well, wait a minute then. How come they can't get a little bit of playing time right now? A little bit? Just a little bit, right? Now, that being said, whole season went by, and I'm trying to figure out. We had games where we had 7 people active, 8 people active, and we had 4 or 5 people DNP. That happened a lot last year. And I'm trying to figure out how could you DNP that many people? How can you just not play people? And we were in the situation that we were in. Did that make any logical sense to anybody? Didn't to me. Now, this profession that, oh, well, those kids couldn't help us, blah, 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 blah. How? What would have been worse having those kids, per se, try to help the team get a few more rebounds, stop the other team from getting offensive rebounds, put the ball in a little bit better position for someone to shoot, run down the court a few more times extra, and at the end of the day, put a few more baskets in the bucket. What harm would have came from that? When you're not playing TLC, you're not playing Knox, you're not playing Gorgie Jane, you're not playing Mays, and you're not playing Lou. That's 5 players right there. Who are they going to steal minutes from? Who? Anybody? And again, this is not a regular show. I was not recording the show live as far as being able to do the phone number so people could call in. This was impromptu. I didn't even promote or push the link out or anything. I'm just doing a video and then I'm gonna do it secondarily. Okay. But who were they stealing minutes from? Now, here's the key of this statement here. Right now, Sharif hasn't had two good games. Now, first of all, he shouldn't have played the first game because he had an injury. He was a game time decision in the first place, right? Probably shouldn't have played. Now, tonight, I don't know what happened. I can't speculate on as far as why he had a bad game tonight. But bad games in Summer League have never ended careers for people. Unless, I don't know, they didn't want to play. We know that's not the truth. Technically, he shouldn't even have to play Summer League. But since he wasn't allowed to play last year, he needs to get some game time in. Because now what's going to happen this year, he might not get to play, although he should, because the only other college player to lead his team in points and assists is Trae Young and Sharif Cooper. Now, so let me bring this up. So what would your attitude be? Would it be less hatred to these young men that y'all don't like, y'all hate them, and y'all putting out in public that y'all hate them? Goodness gracious, I hope I can get their parents on the show like I did with John Collins and Torian Prince eventually. We'll see what happens. But y'all going to continue to hate them a second year in a row? Y'all going to endear people to want to stay here by hating the young players? You're hating AJ right now because he's hurt. How? How do you have so much hatred in your heart for these young men who have achieved their dream to get a chance to play in the NBA, but just not maybe, hey, with two rookies from a year ago, not given a chance to prove whether or not they're good or not? Remember, Jalen Johnson would have been a lottery pick if not for being a little hurt, right? Now, here's the deal. So what would it matter? What would it matter if Coop right now does what he did last year? Why would it matter so much? Would you have a different feeling of him playing this year than last year if he did exactly what he did last year in Summer League now? You can't have it both ways because you know what he did in Summer League last year? 14-7. You know what he did in College Park? 17-7. Also had 4 or 5 rebounds as well. So not only is he scoring points, not only is he distributing the basketball, he's also getting rebounds. You know what our shooting guard and small forward didn't do last year? Rebound. Let's check that out real quick. Since I got time, since I'm not doing an actual recording, I can actually do this. Let's see if it will save it. There we go. .8 rebounds a game last year, y'all. Let me just do one more extra search real quick. Just because I just need to, it has to be brought out. Again, it why is this not working? This is why I need other studio folks to help me out. Do you know that Trae Young out-rebounded Hunter last year? Trae got 3.7 rebounds a night. Hunter, 2.8. There is no way in the world. Oh, my fault. I'm looking at defensive rebounds exclusively. So let me look at the numbers just to make sure I got the right one. So it was 3.3. So Hunter is still really is just as bad. Hunter. No, that's right. 3.7. That's Trae. Is this Trae? Yep, that's Trae. So Hunter, total rebounds 3.3. So Trae out-rebounded your small forward. So I almost have to pull it up now. And this matters, y'all. It really does matter. He out-rebounded Kevin as well. Not by much, but he's right there. Both of those guys should be giving us 5+ rebounds a night, y'all, especially Hunter, obviously. And not just because you saw Wiggins giving them 11 a night, but just the principle of it all is that's effort. Why are we getting killed on rebounds all the time? It's because your guard and your small forward wasn't doing it last year. That hurt. And then in Kevin's case, his lack of defense all the time hurt even more. That was bad. I mean, again, there was sometimes he was just floating out there. I'm sorry. Like, you don't know who you're guarding ever? That's not cool. That should not be cool. There's no excuse for that in an NBA game. Coaching or not, you got to have some personal pride and be attached to your guy. That's your guy. And it can't be because you're not hitting shots. But every time we've seen it, and y'all all have posted it, when he ain't hitting shots, he just gives up on everything for that game. If he's 1 for 7 from 3, he's given up at least 12 points and 8 rebounds from the other guy. But Trae Young out-rebounded our shooting guard and our small forward last year. Trae did that. So Trae's putting in the effort. People keep saying he don't play no defense and he ain't playing hard. But that's not true. Let's see what else Trae did. Shoot, Trae got a block or two every now and again, too. He's getting 3 defensive boards a night. So again, why not have Cooper in there? Who I'm going back to his stuff. Where they're in G League, he's getting 17 and 7 plus 5 boards a night. He ended out the season with multiple triple doubles. We couldn't use none of his energy while we're sitting TLC and Knox and Gorgie Jane and Luke. And Mays on top of that. That's 5 players. Now, Wright, of course, came on near the end of the season, but remember what he was doing in the beginning of the season. He wasn't bringing nothing to the table for us. He wasn't scoring. He wasn't really playing that great defense. He definitely wasn't passing the ball to anybody. You know how he like to hesitate. He can't do an entry pass. He waits and then passes the ball, turnover. Passes the ball at people's ankles, turnover, right? That was Wright's first half. So you mean to tell me you couldn't put in the only other point guard in college history to lead his team in points and assists, and he couldn't get no playing time when you're sitting 5 people a night? I don't understand it. We needed energy each night. We needed somebody who looked like they cared just a little bit more, but Cooper couldn't get no playing time? You weren't playing Lou anymore. What in the world? When it comes to Jalen Johnson, Summer League last year, you know what he did in Summer League? 24 and 12. You know what he did in College Park? 22 and 11. So you mean tell me his rebounding couldn't have helped us just a little bit when I just told you that our shooting guard and small forward got out-rebounded by Trae Young last year? Are you sure? The one time Nate actually played Jalen Johnson, he got 11 and 7. And I'd have to go and pull the game and see how many minutes he got. But he never played minutes like that again the rest of the season. And thus, you saw what he wasn't able to do because he wasn't on the floor. And he knew he wasn't going to be on the floor. You get to play a little bit different when you know you're in the game and not about to get pulled after 2.5 minutes. If anybody has played sports, you know that. You know that in your mind and heart because now you're like, I'm getting my groove in there now. Now I'm comfortable. I done got my game sweat on. I'm running. I'm gunning. I'm doing stuff. I'm going after rebounds. I'm going after loose balls. I'm blocking shots. I'm running the floor. I'm getting back on defense. We needed his energy. He's 19 years old. We couldn't use his energy when Gallo is not hitting shots and going 1 for 7 from 3. And, of course, unfortunately, not playing no defense. We couldn't use Jalen out there at all to get some game experience. We're losing 39 games last year, y'all. Where were the minutes going to be stolen at? That's my point. They were never given a chance to fail because TLC, Knox, Gorgie, what were they doing? They weren't helping us. Were they? Give me the argument that they were. Give me the argument that they were, and I'll shut up about it. But you can't because Nate wasn't even playing them. Nate had to give up. Nate said, I can't play y'all no more. That's what he said. We're playing 7-man rotations now. There were games we had 7 men active, 8 men active, and that was it. And for whatever reason, you weren't even playing Mays. Mays can ball. He can help you with those aspects that we were not doing. He gives you energy as well, which we were lacking. You couldn't even play Mays. So again, where were the minutes going to be stuck? But here's the thing. Now here we are, another summer league. What would be the difference if Cooper came out and did the same thing? Why does he have to repeat what he did a year ago already and in G League again? He's already done it. What else does he have to do? That's my point. If JJ was ready to play, why would he have to play again? What could he do better than 24 and 12? Let me read it again. Summer League, Cooper had 14 and 7 and went to College Park, gave you 17 and 7 and almost 5 rebounds a night. And then all those triple doubles and everything he was doing. JJ gave you 24 and 12 in Summer League and then 22 and 11 in College Park. What else is he going to do other than 22 and 11? Hitting 6 threes in a game, just boarding, blocking shots, running up and down the floor, doing all the things, distributing the ball too. I believe he had like 4 assists a night in College Park. But he couldn't play in Atlanta as we were losing 39 games for the season. Lack of effort all the time, no defense. All these lulls in the offense. Because you know what else he can do? What JJ can do? He can get to the basket. You know what Coop can do? Get you to the basket because you know what? He can pass the ball. But now you hate these guys again for the second straight year. You hate these young men. And I'm trying to figure out why you hate these young. What did these young men do to y'all to hate them so much, to not believe in them at all? Jalen Johnson would have been a lottery pick out of college if he hadn't been hurt and all the whatever circumstances, whatever. They said that. We were able to get him at 20. We were able to get Cooper, who basically is a mini prototype of the other guy that led his team in points and assists, which hadn't been done before. And he proved that in Auburn. He proved it in Summer League. He proved it in G League. You know what? You got to play. It's just like all the other analogies that I've given over the last year. Let's use military. Boot camp, right? You get in the boot camp, you learn the basics, you do this, basic training and everything. Guess what? Eventually, now they got to test you and make sure that you can do it, because if not, they got to pull you. You can't go and be out there messing it up for everybody else. It's the military, right? Remember, a few good men, you don't follow orders, people die. All right? But eventually, they got to put you out there to see what can you do. Let's see. And if you fail, we got to pull you. But if you succeed, 20-year career, retire, checks, right? That's how it works, right? When you go into the training in the secular world, right? You go through however many weeks of training, you get paid, you're learning, you're moving, grooving, whatnot. And eventually, they put you on the floor. If it's sales, they put you on the sales floor. If it's restaurant, they put you on the floor to start serving. If it's customer service, they put you on the phone eventually, and this is real now. You're talking to a customer and you can mess up their whole bank account or whatever now, but they got to find out if you can do it. You're not in training forever. You're not. You can't be in training perpetually. What good is that? When they decide that you were the best for our team, the organization made that choice to never play them. What were you doing? Yeah, you don't have to pay them that much money relatively and all that kind of good. We can talk schematics or semantics or whatever. But we were in a position to see what those guys could do last year. This year, you might not be able to. You see what I'm saying? And then what? Now you're going to have them 2 years in a row, not do nothing? That makes no sense. Again, you look at what Trae Young did in the Summer League, his first couple of games, and then you look how he finished it off and how people wrote him off. Those first few games, though, wrote him off. He was put a fork in him. He was terrible. He was really bad. Again, Bob Rathbun on my show. He's surprised all these people in Atlanta. You're kind of what are you doing? Keep your shirts on. I'm gonna replay. I'm gonna post a show later on tonight. You didn't want Trae. You didn't want John Collins. John Collins is doing stuff that over the last 5 years, look at all the other, there's so many power forwards. They don't come close to what he's done in his first 5 seasons. And now he's 24 going on 25 years old. And you want to get rid of that. Plus, again, just on the community side of things, again, you want people to be enduring to the fan base, the city, and the franchise. And we have that, and you don't want that. You want someone who's going to just, act a fool, be disrespectful to everybody, never be for the fans. I know half of y'all don't care about that, apparently, but when your little kid says, I want a jersey, and one person signs and one person don't, it makes a difference. Why are you buying the shoes of that player all of a sudden? You're spending money supporting them, and they don't want to support you as the fan? They don't want to come out to support this good cause, but this one will every single time. All you got to do is ask. When John Collins came on my show a couple years ago, he said he wants to win championships in Atlanta with Trae Young. He and Trae are going to be the best duo of all time, or at least they're going to be pushing it. They believe they can be that. And they can. If the offense would actually help make that happen. Again, John went from, let's see if I can pull his stuff up again. John went from getting 14.8 touches a night to 11.9 this year. That year he got 14.8. He had basically 21.6 points and 10 rebounds a night. Got 1 assist, 1.6 blocks, 15 touches a night. Now he's getting under 12 and barely getting that. And all of a sudden, again, we've never had an offense, but definitely now he's nowhere near the focal point when he was. Guess what? You see what I'm saying? It's a huge difference. And again, there's not too many power forwards that start off their first 5 seasons all in double digits and averaging the rebounds that he is. He's averaging 16 and 8 his first 5 seasons. And that's with him not being a focal point of the offense and us not having no offensive philosophy whatsoever. John's doing that on his own, basically. And he hits the 3. And he finishes at the rim. He don't miss bunnies. I like Clint, but those bunnies hurt, man. Again, if we have the lead, that kills momentum sometimes. If we don't have the lead, we're trying to come back, and you miss those 2 points, and he don't hit no free throws, it makes it even worse. It's just math. We lost way too many games last year, 10 points or less. It's not all on Clint. It's mostly our defense because we gave up 112 points a game when we scored 113. But those that's part of it. The other part of it, again, not rebounding. You had Trae out rebounding your shooting guard and your starting small forward. That should never be able to happen. Ever. Curry was not out rebounding Wiggins this year. I guarantee you that. D'Angelo Russell was not out rebounding Ant-Man. I guarantee you that. I don't have to look. I know it. I almost did my American Gangster Denzel guarantee it, but I don't feel like doing that tonight. That's always a good one to use. I need to put that on the radio show, actually. I guarantee it. But anyway, why do you hate these young men? Why do you hate them so passionately to where your broadcaster of the Atlanta Hawks has to say, keep your shirts on, people. It's summer league. These games don't count. Bob Rathman said that 4 years ago about Trae Young. Trae Young! Half of y'all were going out of your minds. Y'all don't want to give none of these young men a chance. Now, as I have said over the years, once you have seen them for a few years and they still can't do it, that's a whole other story. Right? There's a lot of players I kept on trying to, and they just never could cut it, and eventually they got to go. They're not helping the team, right? And I've also said that with veterans. Bays. I was the biggest proponent of Bays. If anybody has seen all my YouTube videos and Facebook Lives and listened to my radio show and seen my posts, I pushed for Bays to finish his career as a Hawk until that final season. That final season, we really needed Bays to be Bays. We needed him to do things that we know he can do well and be that all the time on a regular basis. And he was terrible that year. Terrible. And that was it. I couldn't support him staying at that point. He couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I wanted Taurean Prince to stay here. I still say it would have been a great thing to do to keep him along as a bridge, going into the next era. He can hit shots, he can rebound, he can do those things. He's a good player. And there's been other players where just point blank, I just said, yeah, I can't support that player being here anymore because they can't help the team. There's no way they can help the team. And sometimes it doesn't take 3 years. I usually say it takes at least 3 years, right? From rookie season to third year, they got to have figured it out by then. And you see, that's why with Kevin, again, everybody knows. First of all, I call him Red Velvet. Not Red Velvet, my bad. Red Mamba. I called him Red Mamba. I said I wasn't calling him Red Velvet. I was like, I hated that. Okay. But I was his biggest proponent because I felt he could do this. Coming out of Maryland right off the jump, I felt he could do it. And he showed in his rookie season that he could do it. He could. Look, let's see. Where is he at real quick? Dang, did I take it off? Oh, I must have took it off. So let's see. I felt he was more than capable because, one, he could shoot. He could run. He could pass the ball. He could do all those things. But when it got down to it, he could never get over the hump. His rookie season, he scored 9 a game. All right. He played in 75. He started 59 games his rookie season. 38% from 3. He could do it. All right. He can do that. Hit his free throws. What was his free throws at? 73%, Second year, 12.2 points a game. Right? .8 assists a game. Almost 4 assists a game. Not bad. His third year, he went down a little bit, though. 11.9. Not down a lot, but it was noticeable enough. Right? But then, of course, he had, the game 7 and everything. 3.5 assists a game again. 78% from free throw line. I'm trying to find his 3. There it is. So his rookie season, 38%. Second year, 38%. Third season, 36%. Now, last year, 12 points a game. Right at 12 points. Right? Went up on his free throw percentage. He's 80%. 38% from 3. Like I said, rebounding. He did have a season he got 4 rebounds a game, but then he went down to 3.4. Okay. And career is 3.5. And again, Trae Young shouldn't be out rebounding your shooting guard. I just don't. I just have to say that should not be happening. You see what I'm saying? So again, though, we needed him to have the proverbial breakout season this year, because hovering at that 12 mark as a shooting guard with his shot, it'd be different if he didn't have a shot. And I'm trying to think of a shooting guard that's a shooting guard, but just did not have a great shot. Ron Harper, maybe, but he was all defense though. But Hollywood could score, but he wasn't a jump shooter. We all know that. He drive to the basket. That was him. But The whole complaint of not having more than one person that can handle the rock and get their own shot is proverbially what the shooting guard is supposed to be able to do. And that's not what Kevin could do. Now, not do it well, because he had those moments. And we saw it. We seen it. We seen it in the Philadelphia series. We've seen it in other games. We've seen it when plays were called for Kevin. And he hit a game winner. John's been called, had a great game winner. He looking like Karl Malone out there, but that's a whole nother story. But that's what was killing me, was that how come we can't get this 21-point game or this 19-point game all the time? Why are we regulated to seeing him just get 11 or 12 points a night? If that sometimes. Because again, remember, if his shot is really off, he's just chucking it up there at a certain point, and he's going 2 for 8, 2 for 9, 1 for 7 from 3. And on top of that, not playing defense at all. I mean, at all. Which means his guy is going for 30 points. The math ain't mathing at that point. That's a hole right there. Again, Trey's guy ain't going for 45 points a night. Is this not happening? How many point guards dropped 40 points on us this year? Point guards. If that was happening every night, then we'd have a definitely bona fide issue at that point, right? But that's not reality, though. DeMar DeRozan ain't a point guard, is he? Zach LaVine ain't a point guard. Those are just two guys on the Bulls we won't double team. Who's guarding those guys, right? Just saying. Klay Thompson ain't a point guard, right? So, again, someone had to go this year. And they switched out a shooting guard that can do multiple things. Get his own shot, right? Pass the ball. He can distribute, can help out on that end. And he plays defense. He plays defense, okay? And there's no qualification on the defense that he plays. That can't be contested. So just that change right there changes a lot right off the bat. You see what I'm saying? So now it's a matter of, okay, can Hunter match up to that increase of intensity from shooting guard to small forward? So now you got a shooting guard and a small forward that both have equilibrium when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, right? Because we know Hunter can play elite defense. We've seen him do it. We've seen it, right? But now we just got to get him to where, again, let me pull him back up again. Look, if he had been playing the whole series last year or the playoffs all last year at his 15 points a game that he was getting us, things might have been different, but that didn't happen, obviously, right? He scored 13 points a game last year. If we could have gotten 16, 17 points a game out of him regularly this year, we wouldn't have lost 39 games. We wouldn't have had to play two play-in games and play Miami in the first round. That wouldn't have happened. We would have avoided that, I believe. But he wasn't somebody that we could rely on. It just didn't happen. Like I say, his points went down drastically. His production went down drastically. Let's see. He did shoot 37% from 3, which is actually better than what he shot last year. So he did improve on that. But we also know his handles, and again, we were talking about the handle part. He gave up the ball a lot, didn't he? Like a lot, unfortunately, in really the most inopportune times. So we got to hope that that's also a translation that we see this year, because again, it's the shooting guard, it's your small forward that's supposed to do all that. And we can talk about old school, new school, and everything like that, but to try to put the onus on your power forward, when again, Sabonis ain't getting his own shot, and a whole bunch of other guys that I mentioned earlier when I was talking about John Collins also don't get their own shots. People are giving them the ball too. But John can get to the basket, and he's done it before. There's tape of it. I'm going to play it when we do our actual show later on in the week. But he can hit your baseline jumper. He can hit turnaround jumper. He can hit a three-pointer. He can hit your pick and roll, pick and pop. Of course, he's one of the best finishers in the NBA. He don't miss bunnies. He don't. But you want to ship him off for Tobias Harris. or one of the Plumlee guys, or Kiki from Orlando Magic. You want to give up more and get less. The person that his first 5 years, again, if I can pull it up, 10-7, 19-9, 21-10, 17-7, 16-8. First 5 years. There ain't too many power forwards in the NBA that has that. Like, he's one of 9 others. Well, really less than that, because Draymond Green don't got those numbers at all. He just plays well with that team, but he don't have numbers like that. Come on, we're talking about production here. You see what I'm saying? And again, I named John is number 10 in the top 10 list. The other guys are Giannis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Zion, Draymond Green, Sabonis, Randall, and Siakam. Again, I don't believe in Randall. Why would we bring him here? Garbage. Sabonis, if you traded him for Sabonis, straight up or whatever, okay. Production-wise will be right there. Sabonis does get a little bit more rebounds, but you lose a little bit of other stuff that Sabonis can't do because he just can't do it, right? Again, I don't believe Jason Tatum is a power forward, so I don't put him in that spot. But if we got Zion, I guess, but with Zion, again, he's peanut brittle. He don't play. Until he proves he can play 82 games in the season, I wouldn't want Zion here. Anthony Davis, basically the same thing. When is he? He's played 2 years, 70 games plus, period, so far. Okay? That's not a lot of confidence there. Of course, KD, he is who he is. If he came here, yeah, he would help us definitely. And he's bona fide 25-plus scorer every night. Of course, you got Giannis, but none of those guys are coming here. So, again, if you're not getting, you're not getting those guys, then what? Again, Tobias Harris, Porzingis, Aaron Gordon, Bojan Bogdanovic, gonna have the BB boys here, right? You're not getting Miles Bridges here now. You wouldn't want him here. Keldon Johnson, Darius Baisley, Chuma Okeke, you really? Jaden McDaniel? I don't know. Well, no. Marvin Bagley the third again? I don't know. Stop. Jay Crowder? Come on, guys. Let's be reasonable here. So why do you hate John Collins so much? I don't understand it. I don't know where it comes from. Again, if he was giving us Sheldon Williams numbers, Adam Keefe numbers, I could understand it. I could understand John Collins as the 20th pick in the draft 6 years ago now, was giving us Adam Keefe numbers. Y'all want me to pull up Adam Keefe as a number 10 pick? Remember, we picked him 10th? Hello, Adam Keefe. I swear. Some of the decisions our franchise has made over the years. This is Adam Keefe's first 5 years. 6.6, 4.3, 6.1, 6.1, and 3.8. That was Adam Keefe. That was his prime too. Lord. He was the number 10th pick for us, y'all. Like, seriously. Gosh. Oh man. Actually, let's go ahead and do this real quick then. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Let's see, where am I at? How come I lost the other guy? I'll use this. Pass. There we go. So, because I mentioned it in my article, which I'll repost again. If you're just basing it off the first couple of years of some of these guys, and I read it off in the article, like Siakam, 4 points a game, 7 points a game in his second year. Then he did jump to 16. Okay. And now he's had a pretty good career after that. Granted, 22. But look how many, let's see. He's getting 18, 17, and 17 touches a night in Toronto. You better be scoring 20 points a game. John got 11 this year. And barely got that. John hits all his shots and he hits threes. He hits threes better than Siakam. I'm looking at him. The year before last, he shot 29% from three. This year he improved to 34. Come on now. Like for real? Like for real? That's what I'm saying. If you're not going to get someone better than John, what are you doing? It makes no logical sense. It definitely don't make sense on the production side of things. It makes no sense. You were relying on Kevin and Hunter to do theirs, and they didn't, because if they had, you're talking about 25 points from Trey, 16 points from John, and if you were getting 17, 18 from both Hunter and Kevin, this would have been a completely different season. But we didn't get that, though. Reginald says, Reggie, what's up, Reggie? The John Collins hate is infuriating. I had to leave a Hawks group on Facebook because of the stupid trade talk. Again, and it's not just because I had John's mother on the show. It's not just because I had John Collins on the show. It's just the principle of it all. John wants to be a Hawk. He wants to retire as a Hawk. He wants to win championships, plural, as a Hawk. That's all he's ever talked about. Him and Trey together. Multiple interviews. So to continue to ride the wave of unreality, like we're in the multiverse or something, is crazy. Just based off of that. But again, mostly because it wouldn't make logical sense to trade John for a lesser player. To not get equal value or better. But guess what? The better you can't go too much better than what John has done. And the league recognizes that. The rest of everybody else recognizes that. Because again, unless it's Giannis or KD or AD, maybe Zion if he wasn't peanut brittle, Siakam, Sabonis, that's it. That's the it. And then there's John doing his thing with the most dynamic point guard in the league. Why would you want to break up that primarily? You want Sabonis out there? Y'all seen Sabonis game? Y'all seen when we played Indiana? He produces. But guess what? Oh, well, we want him to tricky dribble too. Y'all saying that about John, who actually does get to the basket. I can't imagine what y'all would say about Sabonis out there. What does AD do? He gets in the block. He calls for the ball. Interesting. Silliness of it all. I know there's one guy. Let me read his stats real quick. There's one guy. There is one individual just off the top here. Let's see. 14, 21, 27, 29, 31. Let me see. He was getting, his rookie season, he got 12 attempts a night. After that, 17, 20, 19, 19, 19. There is this young man called Karl Malone who got the ball a lot from Mr. John Stockton. And they were giving him the ball every freaking night. Like Jodeci. Every freaking night. Y'all remember that song, right? 17, 20, 19, 19, 19, 18, 17, 8. He never got less than 18 attempts a night. Never. Until he was even when he was about to retire, he still was getting 16, 17, 15 shots a night. And still giving you 20 points a game. Jumpers. Amazing, ain't it? I don't want to get into the other big man who just got the ball from their point guard and scored. But I don't want to get into that right now because there's too many of them. But we need him to tricky dribble. No, those are small fours playing the four, like Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is not a four. Now, if we go to the book of Mr. Rashad Phillips, The Evolution is being televised, and we talk about hybrid and different, motions in regards to the evolution of the game now and the sport and everything like that, who's playing what position and all that. We can get into the diametrics of that real quick, but I'm not. But just on the regular tip, Jason Tatum's our power forward. He's not. But Jason Tatum can get to the basket. He can get his own shot, can he? Sure can. Sure can. John's giving y'all 16, 17 a night when he does get the ball. He's not getting the ball. Look, again, if he was getting 18 attempts a night, John would give us 25 a night, y'all. Because why? Because he can hit his free throws and he finishes at the basket and he hits threes and he can curl and he can pick and roll and he can play back to the basket. He's done it. He's done it all his career so far. But when he's only getting 11 field goals, like, what's the excuse? Well, who else was on the team doing so well the way he's only getting 11 attempts a game? Anybody? Bueller? Now, going back to the rookies again from a year ago, and this again goes back into it. Summer League, you had JJ and Cooper balling out. And then in G League, you had JJ and Cooper balling out, but we couldn't use none of their talents on a 39-loss team that couldn't stop nobody. And we couldn't score on a regular basis when we needed to. 113 points does us no good when you're not scoring for 5 minutes at a time, because it should have been 128 points a game. You see what I'm saying? And then giving up 112 points. Guess what? Win-loss record is much different. But since we were lackadaisical and non-caring on defense, where our general manager called us out twice on that accord during the season, nothing was done, nothing was changed, nothing was alleviated. You mean to tell me just a little bit of an insertion of energy, which Nate admitted to everybody? Man, Jalen gave us what we needed, man. He gave us that energy. He was getting boards. He was getting to the basket. He was doing all the little things. And then we never saw Jalen again. It was just like, y'all know how I hate the word tanking. Are we tanking? Are we trying to lose this season? We got Trae Young leading the NBA in points and assists, and we're about to waste this season for what? Just because? John's not even playing. You're not playing TLC, Gorgie, Knox, Lou, Mays, and you still can't play Jalen? You see what I'm saying? We can't find out what he can do when there's a slot open for him to do it. Unlike what this year might bring, where he might not be able to play that much, because we literally do have some players that actually probably will produce. I mean, probably we'll see what happens. Nothing is always guaranteed. But Gallo ain't here anymore. Why wouldn't he play? No, I already know. Royce is going to play. Okay. What are we doing? But like I said, that's why I said we got to have some kind of offensive philosophy. We have to have a plan. We have bits and pieces of stuff, and that's not good enough. It's not good enough to go from giving John the ball a lot to not giving him the ball pretty much at all is a bad thing when he's one of your best shooters on the team. He's one of your best scorers on the team. Outside of Bogey, who his jump shots, 15 points a night, and Gallo's giving you 11 a game, right? Think about this. Nobody else on our bench was giving us anything. Nothing, because they weren't playing. Mays wasn't playing, right? Think about this. Let's see if I can pull it up. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but let's see. I'll try NBA first. Let's see. Here we go. Stats. Oh, come on, guys. This is not what I want. All right. So I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to off the fly. But if you look at what our bench did a year ago, you know we didn't do well. You know, we weren't scoring any points per the bench. You know that. And that's mostly my contention with this whole hatred to the rookies. How can you hate players who weren't given a chance to play and you assume that they can't play and that's the reason they're not playing? That's not the reason. It's not the reason. And what would make it different if Coop was doing exactly what he did in last year's summer league to make you change your mind now than last year? You see what I'm saying? He shouldn't have to be out there trying to prove himself a second time in a row in summer league or the G League. And neither should Jalen. They did their part. They did their training. They need to be given their chance to prove themselves, just like you did on your job. You got hired, you got put into training, they took you out of training, they put you on that sales floor or put you on the restaurant floor or they put you in the customer call center or they put you in your office cubicle and say, here you go, take the reins, let's see what you can do. 6 months down the line, a year down the line, evaluation. They were never given a chance to be evaluated. And there was minutes for them. Again, tell me who they were stealing minutes from, and then you win your argument. They were stealing minutes from TLC? Oh, now this is what might help me a little bit. Oh, did I delete it? Sure did. All right, so, all right, that's this year though. Is it really not going to let me do it? Yes, it is. There it is. All right, cool. I have to get the spelling right because I can't ever spell it right. So you mean to tell me, like literally, that we were going to miss the 4.4 points that TLC was giving you a game last year, and we couldn't play Jalen in that spot? Are you really trying to tell me that? You going to convince me that was warranted? I just don't believe it. I just don't believe that. You mean to tell me that we were going to miss come on, Google, help me out here. We were going to miss 2.7 points a game from Knox by not playing him? I just don't see it. Knox was getting 6.5 minutes a game. You mean to tell me you couldn't put either Cooper or Jalen in for more than that? TLC was getting 13 minutes a game. You mean to tell me who is he stealing minutes from? I don't even want to pull up Gorgie James. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Who are they stealing minutes from? Again, you didn't play Mays, which still boggles my mind. Why not at least play Mays? Now, let me go back real quick. TLC gave us some moments, but that one moment he gave us put him ahead. How did that make Jalen lose his opportunity because of that one good game? Because he did nothing after that to prove that he should stay in the lineup. And eventually Nate took him out the lineup. So why couldn't at that point Jalen be given a chance to fail? Because he couldn't have did any worse. He couldn't have did any worse. But in G League, he was getting 21 and 12 every night, dominating over there. Same thing with Cooper. You're not playing Mays. Lou wasn't playing most of the season. And Wright, again, had a terrible first half of the season, but you still need another guard. You needed a guard that actually runs an offense. And that's who we have in Cooper. That's why you drafted him. Are you still not going to give him the opportunity to prove himself? Summer League last year, he got 17. He was getting 14-7, and then in G League 17-7. So he's passing the ball all the time. He's getting 7 assists a night. Probably should have had more. People just ain't hitting their shots, right? And he can score. Again, those triple doubles didn't come out of nowhere. The boy can play, but we never got to see it because he never got any playing time. Why not? You're not playing Mays. You're not playing Lou. Knox ain't a point guard. TLC ain't a point guard. Gorgie is not a point guard. And you're worried about people who can get to the basket and create their own shot, and Cooper can't play. Why? What minutes was he going to – whose minutes was he stealing from? We had 39 losses. We were not a 55-win team last year. We were – what place did we finish in before the play-in? You saw where we were at? We were 9th in the East with the talent that we have on our team. Bogey getting 15 points a night off the bench. That's our primary. We had 2 young men who gives you everything that we needed potentially, and we never got to see the potential. And if they have failed, okay, well, that's just 2 more players that would have failed on our team that didn't do their job as well. Then you have an argument. But to not even see them play and then hate them, passionately hate those young men who just want an opportunity to prove that it was worth it to draft them. They did nothing against this franchise, against the team, against other players to not get a chance to play. They did nothing to be basically banned from the team, to be shunned. They did nothing. And now again, a second year in a row, you hate them again? In Summer League? That doesn't count. Again, half of y'all wanted Trey gone after his first Summer League few games, right? I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play the interview of Bob Rathbun during Summer League, Trey's rookie year. I'm gonna play it. Y'all need to listen to it. I'm gonna play John's interview. I'm gonna play it. Y'all need to hear it. I'm gonna play Lyria Collins' interview, his mother. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play Mr. Anthony Prince, father of Torian Prince. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play Dominique Wilkins' interview. I'm gonna play it. Because all we're talking about is the future and watching the Hawks eventually win a championship. And a lot of stuff has to go right. Everybody does have to do their job. They have to be responsible. They have to be accountable to themselves. Coaching staff has to be accountable. GM has to be accountable. The owner has to be accountable. But somebody has to make them accountable, which means an action has to take place. So when players are playing bad, they got to be pulled, no matter who they are. I've said it before. It doesn't matter if it's Trae Young or John Collins or Hunter or Red Mamba, whoever it is. They got to be pulled when they're shooting 1 for 7. They should never get to the point of shooting 1 for 7 when they're doing that and then also not playing no defense. You can't let them not do their job. You can't let Trae have 9 turnovers in a game, 7 turnovers, whatever it was. You can't let that happen. You got to sit him for a while. You got to put in Knox if you have to at point guard. You got to do that. Those turnovers count eventually. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. You can overshadow and even things out with assists and points and everything. But in a close game, those turnovers can definitely be the difference. Not all the time, but sometimes, especially if they're the terrible turnovers where it's not. Again, remember what I did the other night? And I don't know if y'all saw this video. I need to see if I can find it, but I'll go ahead and pull it real quick. Just so you know how serious I am about, what a turnover means, right? Because somebody was like, Trey's averaging a lot of turnovers and everything, Now, again, I don't mind turnovers when he's trying to pass the ball, and that's a turnover. I'm not going to mind that. It's the bonehead ones that be killing us, right? But I'm going to run down turnovers from a particular player real quick. 4 turnovers. This is from rookie season till the end of his career. 4 turnovers, 3.9 turnovers, 3.7 turnovers, 3.8 turnovers, 4.6 turnovers, 4 turnovers, 3.8, 3.8, 3.7, 4.1, 3.7, 4.0. That's 4 turnovers every doggone game for his career. You know who that is? Magic. Now, Magic, of course, is one of the best of the best, right? But he turned the ball over. Just saying. And that's what Trey is right now. Trey is averaging, I think I still got Trey pulled up. Let's see. Well, it's Pascal. That's John. That's Trey. 3.8, 4.8, pretty high. That was his second season. 4.1, and this year was 4.0. So it's not egregious. It's just the type of turnovers were egregious this year. But he wasn't losing games off of that, though. Trey, again, a lot of people try to blame Trey a lot of times. Can't. Because, again, where is the rest of the team at? Again, Trey is out-rebounding his shooting guard and his small forward on the team nightly. And then he's the main scorer on the team. Again, 11 points a game from Kevin wasn't going to do it this year. We needed him to help out Trae Young. Trae don't got to score 30 points a game for us to win. He don't. And he's not even trying to do that. Trae Young is trying to get 30 assists a night. I've said that from his rookie season. I said that in Summer League. I said, man, if he had any shooters on his team in Summer League, he'd have 20 assists tonight. That's what Trae Young is trying to do. But he has to score because besides John, didn't have anybody else up there scoring on a regular clip. That's facts, right? If Hunter had been giving us 19 a night, excellent defense, again, things might have been different this year. Every night, we saw what he did those last couple of games in Miami. If we got that version of Hunter the whole season, it wouldn't matter what Kevin gave us. This one extra player, along with John and Trey, would have made a huge difference during the regular season. Huge difference. So many games we would not have lost by 5 points or less if we were getting 19 a night. Heck, 16 a night. Not 12 and 13 a night on some nights. You see what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of nights they were going under double. They weren't even scoring double digits, y'all. Think about that. Like they were not in the game. Like, where were they? Oh, well, he was hurt. Well, you know what? That is only an excuse, but so far. I'm sorry. Just being real. If I ever get them on the show, we'll talk about that eventually, right? But anyway, let me get out of here. I just had to go on. Again, this was not a regular video. I didn't push it, promote it, even post it or anything. I just wanted to get it online, get it out there in regards to the hatred towards John Connors, the hatred towards your rookies. There's people who hate the new rookies. AJ, because he ain't playing. Just hate him. Just hate him. You hate him. You hate him. He wants to be here. He wants to help this team win, and you hate him already. He hasn't even had a chance to and have an opportunity to play. And we don't know if he will per roster and everything and what our philosophy is going to be. We hope that he gets to play. He definitely can fill in some shoes, right? But hopefully the philosophy is not, oh, you're going to play no matter what because you're a veteran. That stuff has to stop. The nonsense has to go away. That's just crazy talk. Sorry. John needs more than 11 shots a game, y'all, for sure. Y'all need to read it off one more time? 10 points, 7 rebounds his rookie season. Okay. On 7 attempts. Got 13 attempts. He went to 19 and 9. Basically it was 19 and 10 because he was at 9.8 rebounds a game that season. Shots went up another year, 21.6 points, 10 rebounds a game. Then he went from basically getting 15 shots a night to 12 a night. Went to 17 and 7. And then he went down again this year, this past season. Now, of course, he was hurt. he didn't get a lot of production as far as that goes. He only played 50-something games or whatnot. You know. I don't understand it. And again, I read off the other power forwards. They're either right where he's at production-wise or high, a little bit higher, or highest. The top Giannis, KD, AD. Sabonis and Siakam, right? Siakam a little bit higher because he's getting 18 shots a night. Anybody getting 18 shots a night, yeah, you're going to produce 20-point games. You should. Got some skills to pay the bills. Again, I don't count Julius Randle. Zion, again, peanut brittle. Somebody got to get him the ball, though, too, right? But the same with Sabonis, same with AD, right? But after that, again, you're going from Tobias Harris down to Aaron Gordon down to Okiki. Come on. Stop hating these young men. Again, if they were giving you Sheldon Williams, do you want to know what Sheldon Williams gave to the Atlanta Hawks? Do y'all want to know? Let's go ahead and pull it up. I've said his name a few times here. Landlord, man, get out of here with that. Okay, there it is. All right, so Mr. Sheldon Williams for the Atlanta Hawks. 5.5 points, 5 rebounds a night. Now, that was on 18 minutes a game, okay? Then he went down to 3 points a game and 3 rebounds, and then he was gone. So there you go. And let me see. He was picked 5 in the number 5. 5th. As Dave Chappelle would say, 5th. He was picked number 5 in doing that for the Atlanta Hawks. That's what he gave the Atlanta Hawks. John got picked number what? And started off 10 and 7, and then went to 19 and 10. There's no comparison. Again, there's not a whole bunch of power forwards has had the first 5 years of production at the power forward position like John Collins has. But y'all just want to get rid of him for tiddlywinks and hate him for some reason. For wanting to help the team more because he's only getting 11 shots a night, excuse me, and barely that. And you mad because he's looking at it just from the standpoint of, if you give me 15 shots a night, I can get y'all 24 points a night. I can hit all of my shots. I finish at the basket. I hit my free throws. I hit my free throws. I hit threes. I hit turnaround jumpers. I hit face-up jumpers. I do drive to the basket when necessary, when I got it. But he's in the ball game with Trey freaking Young. Pick and roll, pick and pop. Let's do it until they stop us. That's what they've done up till now. Now, all of a sudden, they switch it and be like, oh, well, let's switch it up. And Clint's cool and all, but I'm bunnies, man. He be right there. 25-point differential, percentage-wise, from Big O and Clint, 0 to 5 feet in. That's a huge differential. And again, those bunnies count when you're in a close ball game and or you got a lead, and sometimes you got that easy one that should put you up 18, and then you miss it and come back down the floor and they hit a 3. How many times have we seen that? And y'all type it in like y'all don't type it in and nobody reads it. Those come back. And again, we need everybody to play at the ultimate level this coming season. Clint, John, Trey, everybody. Hunter, everybody. Everybody that's left. Everybody else is gone now, right? So everybody got to play at the ultimate level. We need better post defense from Clint. We need better post defense from John, for that matter. His has improved, but it still needs to get better, right? Block at least one more shot a game if you can. It gets you about a block a game. Let's get a block and a half this year, right? Trey, no more games having 5 turnovers or more. Stop that. That can't happen. All right. Hunter, we need 19 a game and exquisite defense. Is that too much to ask? It's not. Really isn't. It's not. It's not. Bogey does his same thing. Big O does his thing. And let's see if these other young men who are here can help out. Of course, the holidays are here. You know, kind of like the OK Corral, Mr. Holiday coming up the street. You know, we got 2 of them now, right? That's pretty cool. But let's hatred. Look, criticism and hatred are 2 different things. I can criticize all day long, but I'm not going to hate these players. I'm not going to denunciate them. I give them all the chance in the world to produce, but then eventually they're not. TLC wasn't producing for us, and guess what? He wasn't even playing. They pulled him. Knox wasn't producing for us. He wasn't playing. Why couldn't our rookies play then? Gorgie, he has some days, and technically he should have been playing more. For whatever reason, hey, he ain't playing. So I couldn't. Jalen play for Gorgie in that spot. He was playing center down there in the G League. Why couldn't Mays play? Mays can dribble. He can hit shots. He can pass the ball. He plays adequate defense. He hustles. We needed some hustle last year, and we couldn't get it from the starting lineup overall. So why can't Mays get more playing time? You signed him. You signed him for the playoffs and then insulted him and still didn't play. That was an insult to me. I was like, man, Mays, you need to go ahead and go so you can play somewhere else. That's how I feel. I don't want players that's languishing for no reason because there was no reason for them to not be playing. No matter what you think, we'll never know because they never got a chance to fail. Because what's the worst that can happen? They fail also. What's the best thing that could have happened? Prove themselves to be like, yeah, that 20 and 11 I'm getting in G League ain't no fluke. Give me 15 minutes a game. I'm going to give you something. Just like you did when I got 11 and 7. Jalen, when he got 11 and 7, those 11 points and 7 boards counted. Nate said it. Nate himself said it and didn't play him. Again, mind-boggling. There's no excuse for that. There's no reasoning behind that. There's not. Because he's done it for all these other teams, too, that he's coached for. He's had more talent in front of him than he ever have and ever will have ever again. And it's just not being used to the best of its ability. And it's because we don't have no philosophy. We need an expert on offense. We got to get somebody. I don't know who it's going to be. It ain't Nick Van Neck, so I'm sorry. It's not. And there's nobody else on that bench. That's why I said, is Desire of the Telestrator available right now? Is he? We need him. He ain't that old. He's about 80-something now. Bring him in. We need help. We need help. Where is gosh, I forgot. The old Phoenix coach. Houston Rockets coach. Gosh, I forgot his name. I really can't remember his name. But he's an offensive coach. Offensive coach with a defensive coach. That would be a great pairing. That would be a great pairing. Offensive coach don't have to worry about defense. The defensive coach don't have to worry about offense anymore. You have better plays being called. Those plays, those plays count when it matters the most. And when we putting up crazy stuff that don't have a chance in the world to work, that's frustrating, y'all. How come we can't get an inbounds play right? That's not cool. Is it cool? How is that cool to anybody? Game is on the line, or this possession is really important, and we have something bogus. You know how our season ended, right? It shouldn't be possible, y'all. That's all I'm saying. So that being said, we are going to have a full show soon. This was just an impromptu. I just wanted to do a video to talk about John Collins, talk about Jalen Johnson, talk about Cooper, talk about some other stuff as far as the Hawks go. I'll be doing a more detailed show in the future where we're going to talk about the actual draft. We're going to talk about free agency. Up till now, again, we were kind of holding off because we didn't know what else was going to happen. We didn't know if John was going to get traded or not, or we were going to get Ayton and all that. So we were trying to hold off as long as we could just to make sure we don't do a post-draft and free agency show and then everything hits the fan. We didn't want to do that. So I think we're comfortable about doing the show. So soon we will do a regular show where, fans can call in and stuff like that. Thanks to Reggie for chiming in. Because like I said, I didn't promote this. I didn't post this, but I will be posting this after the fact. Definitely be looking out for the interview with Bob Rathbun during Trae Young's Summer League days to listen to his angst on why the fans are basically killing him. Okay. Look out for the interview of Lyria Collins, John Collins' mother. Look out for the John Collins interview. I will be posting these up within the hour at least. I will also post the Anthony Prince interview of Torian Prince before Torian ended up not being here anymore. Definitely listen to Mr. Prince. You gotta listen to that interview. Now I'm gonna post the Dominique Wilkins interview. I think that was an interesting interview. That was a couple of seasons ago, talking about the Hawks in the future and things of that nature. But definitely listen to what these guys have to say. John wants to be a Hawk for life. And for all the people who've been clamoring to say nobody wants to be in Atlanta, for all the players who do want to be in Atlanta and actually good, you hate them. And you want to get these other people have no attachments to want to come here, and you want to rely on them to want to, and that's how it's been. But here it is. You have another young man now who wants to be here. Y'all going to treat Murray like y'all treated these other guys who wanted to be here and then actually putting up. Again, look at John has always averaged double figures in his career as a player. There's not a lot of players who can say that. Y'all know that? Pascal Siakam can't say that. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of guys who can say right off the bat they're hitting it. It's not a lot. It's a handful. Under the age of 25 at that? Not even hit his prime, nowhere near it yet. So just off of that basis, let's stop hating these players. Again, if they've not proven themselves over 3 or 4 years, then you can start, okay, what's going on? How come they haven't and stuff like that? But until then, let's see what they can do. Give them a chance. Let's give them that opportunity to get into the city and things of that nature. But if they've done nothing to not get playing time, y'all. The first batch from last year. AJ is hurt. We'll see what happens with him. But in the meantime, Jalen and Cooper have not done anything to deserve the hatred that they've been getting. And I'm going to keep saying it. Hatred that they've been getting is not because they can't play. And you want to say that Cooper can't play because of these games that he's had? One game where he probably shouldn't have played because he was coming off an injury. And then tonight, when last Summer League, he was getting 14-7 and then 17-7 in G League. How can you say that? And then again, there's only one other point guard in college basketball history that led their team in points and assists. That's Trae Young and Sharif Cooper. That's it. That's the list. And we drafted Cooper. And he didn't even get a chance when we were decimated with injuries and also players who weren't helping the team. They just were not helping the team. And no one can say and argue that they were because Nate wasn't even playing them. Who are you going to argue with now? Right? Nate had them benched. DNP. DNP apostrophe D. DNP'd. There were games, again, where we were playing with 7 players, 8 players that night. Lou wasn't playing. Gorgie wasn't playing. Knox wasn't playing. TLC wasn't playing. And then you got Cooper and Jalen also not playing so nice when they were called up. That's 6 players not playing. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. Whose minutes were they stealing at that point? And again, that still wouldn't have mattered if both Kevin and Hunter were giving you 17, 18, 19 points a game, if Clint been scoring a few extra points here and there, because Clint's production went down too on the point side. Remember that. His rebounds were right there, but his points came down. Those points matter when we're scoring 113 a game and giving up 112, when we really probably should have been scoring 125 a night. If we had just did that, we wouldn't have lost 39 games. Again, the math is there, y'all. We wouldn't have lost 39 games. So if we weren't going to play better defense, we need to score some more. And we were getting 11, 12 points from Kevin and 13 points from Hunter. And basically no defense between the Hunter's defense went down big time, and Kevin wasn't playing defense at all. When you come off the bench, Bogey has adequate defense on the ball, but Gallo plays no defense whatsoever, and they know it, right? And you had nothing else to offset that because, again, Lou either wasn't playing or couldn't play, and then you weren't getting nothing out of Knox, TLC, and basically Gorgie. 39 losses. And you mean to tell me those two rookies brought no value? I'm going to say it again. You're trying to convince me of that. You can't with me. And they don't deserve your hatred. None of them do. None of them deserve your hatred. Criticism, sure, but not hatred. That's different. And all I see is hatred. You don't even want to give these young men a chance. They went through training and never got a chance to get on the floor. They never got a chance to get into the office. They never got a chance to get on the field of battle with their brothers, using the military term again. They never got a chance to serve food if it's on the restaurant side. They never got a chance to sell a cell phone. But they got paid training, but they never got a chance to actually do the job. And there's no logical reason why. And I hope that they get a chance this year. Because otherwise, like, why are they even here at this point? They don't deserve to be languishing away, just being sacked for no reason. They just don't. They do not. Not when half the rest of the league played all their guys. It's not 100%, but 50%. Again, like I said, at the beginning of last season, if the Hawks were full healthy and everybody is playing to the tilt, Jalen and Cooper would not have played. But that's not reality. That was not reality. I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you follow on Twitter, Intellect ATL and IMTM Radio. Make sure you follow the Instagram page, IMTM Worldwide Radio on Instagram. Of course, subscribe to the page here if you're watching. Appreciate it. IMTM Worldwide Radio page. We will be doing a draft, a post-draft, and free agency show soon, probably this weekend. I got to kind of look at schedules. Again, we were just waiting to see if John was going to get traded or we're going to get Ayton. I was holding off to the bitter end. Doesn't look like either of those things are going to happen at this point. So I want to go ahead and move on with the show. So be looking out for that. You get to call in and talk. Again, thanks to Reggie and anybody else who ends up watching this. I'll be posting it up later tonight. Listen out for those radio interviews. Listen to how Bob talks about the fact that he is shocked and appalled that so many people in Atlanta was hating Trae Young being here after a couple of games in Summer League after not playing for 30 days. I want you to listen to what Bob Rathman said. Now, if you don't respect Bob Rathman, who's been doing our games forever, that's a problem for me. Okay? But listen to what Bob has to say, for sure. All right? I want you to listen to what John Collins has to say about the team getting better and making it to where they're a competitive team and looking at the future and wanting to be here and win championships here. I want you to listen to the parents of some of these players. Y'all have a part in the franchise as fans. You do. What you say does affect things. What you don't say sometimes, right? You being at the games, not being at the games, buying the paraphernalia, the shirts, hats, and all that kind of good stuff, ties. I don't have a Hawks tie, but whatever. Stuff, right? That stuff matters. It does. It does. And you can't overlook those things. Because the more and more people see that, oh man, this fan base hates me. Why am I here? Why should I be here? These fans hate me. I'm trying to win a championship for them. Cleveland, this is for you. LeBron James can't say that if he didn't mean it. The players want to win championships. They do. They do. Dame wants to win a championship in Portland. He basically said, this is it. I'm going all out. I'm either going to win it or not. Just like Reggie Miller, right? Finished his career there. He didn't leave, right? Isaiah Thomas. Kobe Bryant said, you got to be there for the good and the bad. I got to see if I can find that interview again. I posted it a few weeks ago. But Kobe Bryant said, if you're going to be there for the good, you're going to be there for the bad too. That's how it works. And then he actually started mentioning players who just be all over the place. He was like, if you're going to be there for the bad, the good, if you're going to be there for the good, you got to be there for the bad to make the good even feel even better. Right? The pain and anguish, the blood, sweat, and the tears, vitamins, it all goes into it. That the hard work is going to pay off. But you have to try to get there. And to not want to do that, it looks like you're running. Can't keep running away. Right? Y'all know the song. Old school. And that's why, you got all these people looking at Kevin. Just bouncing. Bouncing. It's too hard. Bouncing. It's too hard for me. I'm gonna bounce again. I'm gonna ask for another trade. I know I'm on a contract for 3 more years, but I'm gonna ask for another trade. If you trade me again, I'm gonna ask for another trade. Someone said, well, Bron has finished his contracts. Well, that's cool when you're only signing like a 1.5 year contract or whatever. It's easy. You got a clause. You can get out of it. I'm going to run. I don't think he's going to finish a Laker either. But anyway, let me go. It's 2 hours. It's almost on my mark. So I'm going to get out of here for now. Like I said, this wasn't a pre-scheduled anything. I just decided to go ahead and try to do a couple of hours just talking about John Collins and the rookies from a year ago. Because again, I need people to hear it and see it and read it. You know what I'm saying? Again, how do you hate someone who wants to be here who does what John does? Small forwards playing power forward, that's not the argument. Power forwards doing power forward things, that should be the argument. And if you're not going to get someone better than John, why would you get rid of what he does and just not give him the ball more? Because if you want him to do more, give him the doggone ball more. That's easy. That's just math. Every time I've played basketball, I always talk about how I don't want to outshoot everybody else, right? If you've seen my basketball videos. And if I'm missing my first 3 shots, I'm not going to just keep shooting it. I'm going to go down low, post up, ask for the ball. I'm going to set some screens. I'm going to dive for some loose. Well, I'm not going to dive. I'm too old to do that now. But I'm going to try to get some loose balls, right? I'm going to try to block some shots. And then I'm going to try to come around. And if I'm wide open for a shot, then I might shoot it again. Or I just might post up and just pass the ball because I like passing the ball. That's just me. I like distributing. I'm trying to get 4 or 5 assists a night. And if people cut and move without the ball, I find them every time. And people know that with me. That's how I'm gonna play. That's how I've been built. I'm sharing the ball. I'm distributing. I'm trying to win the doggone game by any means necessary. That's the whole point. Not just keep chucking it up. That's stupid. Nobody wins like that. Nobody. That's what I want to see this year. I want to see everybody trying to win the game by any means necessary. And us having a plan that can be adjusted and win these games that we should never have lost last year. That's all. I will talk to y'all later. And again, I enjoy doing these. And hopefully We'll have a new announcement by the end of the month. We've been on hold a little bit, which is the other reason we haven't done any shows lately. There's kind of not a legal reason, but I don't want to get into that too much more. But anyway, hopefully we'll be back soon. Hopefully it'll be this weekend. Be looking out. And until then, make sure you listen to Around the ATL. Thanks for the support from everybody over the years, as usual. Make sure, again, you're following on Intellect ATL on Twitter right there. IMTM Radio, and also Jordan at Jordan23ATL on Twitter. Make sure on Instagram you're following IMTM Worldwide Radio. And of course, subscribe to the page, please, if you can. You always get a notification if I'm up and about. And I will talk to y'all later.